Hello, hello. Happy Friday.
Hey guys.
How are y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. I like the new intro. It's got a nice
It is kind of cool. It sets a tone.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh.
So we
Waiting for Theo gets his screen time.
Hey,
Theo.
I'm trying to figure out where we take the beginning of this. So we thought we were going to shoot a video with Thomas, and we did. And I think we all realized in the first 2 minutes that it was going to be completely unusable. So here it is real fast.
Hello, hello. Happy Friday.
Hey guys, what's going on? And that's it. There you go. So there's what's usable from our video that we shot with Thomas earlier. How are you guys? I feel I haven't talked to you guys in a minute, at least in this format.
Yeah.
Where we're trying to behave, where it's not just an expletive riddled rant, where, in a nice format. How have you guys been? I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking.
Did we miss last week's
show?
I don't recall.
Yeah. We had some technical difficulties with StreamYard because, in fact, just about everybody that uses StreamYard or Box.com or anything with Google Cloud services, you have noticed that all of these things were malfunctioning between 1 p.m. Eastern to about 6 p.m. Eastern from what it sounds like. So yeah, we were ready to hop on and record and no one could get on. So
it felt weird, right? We've been a little discombobulated ever since. Like even Jared was saying, we're gonna do a video. We gotta do a video. Feels weird if we don't connect. And what I was saying a second ago. So normally, as we all communicate through the course of a day, it's on the phone, or we might jump on one of these real quick. But it's just real business oriented, and we move on to our tasks. To break it up and have our water cooler chat, if you will. It just feels like it's been a minute. Anyway, what do you guys want to talk about today? I think one thing. Let me start. Let me throw this in here real fast because we have most certainly been remiss. Mr. William Cat. Yep. I apologize. Numerous, like 3 or 4 videos have happened now where we didn't share, thoughts on Big Wednesday, picture, house, photo. 2 things you should most definitely, everyone should be watching. If you haven't seen Big Wednesday, wonderful coming of age film, you must see it. And then arguably some of Bill's best work, House.
Yes.
In fact, I even went as far as to Google it the other day. I was like, what is William Cat, some of his best work? And arguably most fans will throw out House.
Yeah, and it kind of came up in discussion in the past couple of weeks because George Wendt passed away. Norm from Cheers. He also had a great part in House. He plays.
Wasn't he a wonderful supporting role?
House? He was the neighbor.
Yep.
I'm thinking about the movie now. It's so funny what happens.
He's great in that role, right? It's wonderful. And for those who don't know what we're talking about, now you need to see it. There's your setup. We teed it up for you.
Yep.
But House is wonderful. Big Wednesday, love the way it's narrated all the way through it. And of course, Bill has gone on to have a bit of a musical career too. Got a great voice, and so check these things out. But apologies because we most definitely have been remiss. Just bogged down with work, and these things would have gone a lot better had we invoked his name. Again, I'm just wanting to clean that up real fast. So I know I let some people down by not mentioning that, and I hope I remedied things. So as you were, gang, as you were.
All
right. Amy, what do you got? It falls on you to keep this going today. I got nothing.
Well,
nothing constructive to contribute to this.
Do you guys want to talk about the Chris Knives or Mr. DNA since they are on the water and should be here at the end of July?
I think that's a great idea. Let's do that.
We've got quite a few things coming in, or that just came in. The Super Stand just came in.
Mm-hmm.
The night vision goggles are going to be in a couple weeks, probably.
Mm-hmm. They land July 3rd, so I'm estimating them to be at our warehouse sometime between July 8th and July 10th.
Wow, how cool is that? And the new Jurassic Park movie, Jurassic World, comes out July 2nd. So good timing there.
Kismet.
totally going to go see. That actually looks really awesome.
It does.
I think that's great. But yeah, the Dune knife that just never wanted to be is finally going to be. It's happened.
You know, I hadn't gotten a chance to actually hold one of the production pieces until we were at the Dallas show.
Oh, that's right.
I'm just so impressed with the way that turned out. I mean,
it's a fun piece, right?
It feels good in your hand. The weight is really good. The metal really does. I'm so glad we did the metal pieces on it. It wouldn't have felt as cool as it does without those metal ends on it. And even the sheath. I mean, something so simple as just a sheath for the knife. The way it all fits together, it just feels like you dug it out of the sand in Mexico after the shooting location. It really feels epic. I don't know. I was really, really pleased with the way that came out.
Yeah, it's a fun piece. I'm going to be, you know, we've talked about that before. When you work on these things for so long, you know, you're happy to get them in the rearview mirror. It's a little like spending all day in the kitchen and then, you know, eating the end result. You're not hungry anymore. No, after I saw those first few pieces, it was worth it. Juice was worth the squeeze again.
Yeah.
For those. So Mr. DNA, of course, wildly popular. What few pieces we had in Dallas to show off. Everybody loved Mr. DNA. Going to be great to have him, you know, as a sentry over people's collections.
He's so cute, man.
It's a fun piece. I liked it when we started it, when just conceptually we were talking about it. In a million years, I didn't know I would come to, you know, love it. I really do. It's when we upped its scale, you know, when we sized it up, a lot of people don't realize he was originally intended to be about half the size that he is. And then we're like, yeah, let's just double it. And he's more of a true, you know, maquette-like piece now. Just a cool piece. And then, of course, you know, the night vision goggles, definitely time to land that plane. And very happy to have done that. So yeah, mission accomplished. Good job for everybody on that. We went through all of our JP pieces that we wanted to, you know, see happen. You know, the cane, even the maps, the cryo, of course, and now the NVs. So one or two more things we've talked about we'd like to do. It just depends on, you know, where we go from here with the studio. But yeah, that's a good call to talk about those real fast. And then some of the other things that are just in hard production right now, the Godzilla tree toppers, Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla. Can I talk about the other thing? There's probably no reason why I couldn't, right, Jared? With Godzilla,
what, the ornaments?
There you go. You said it.
We mentioned it before.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
All right. I just can't remember if we mentioned it and then we edit it out whenever we slip, but yeah, it's not a big deal. So we are doing a nice series. We're working on a couple different series right now of glass ornaments for Godzilla. And of course, those will accompany the tree toppers. So that'll be a cool thing. And then the Oxygen Destroyer is deep into production. And we've shared one or two of some other scans that we're working on. We're going to talk a lot more about Godzilla in the weeks ahead. We've just been so busy since we got back from Tokyo. We didn't have the opportunity to really get our, we're getting through all of our video that we have a ton of, lots of photos and interviews, and it's just a ton of stuff. And if any of the previous video we shot with Tom survives, we do touch on that just a little bit, where he gets a little itchy that where he thinks we're not sharing soon enough. And then there's a procedure to get these things approved. And, you know, the studio likes to lay eyes on things before we share it with everyone. So that's happening, and we're looking forward to that. And ironically, we might be going back to Tokyo sooner than we thought. I mean, we'll talk more about that soon too. So wonderful opportunities happening there. Amy, you want to cover anything? I mean, we could just be loose. I don't have anything formal outside of what we just talked about to really get into. So if you want to turn it into a quick casual Friday, feel free. And pepper me with your questions, or Jared, or we can pull Sean in if we have to. I mean, whatever you want to do.
some of the questions that we've received lately on social and customer service. I know we just touched on Godzilla, Blade Runner. Both of the emanators are well into production.
Yes.
So those we'll have an update of when those are going to be leaving pretty shortly. I've gotten peppered lately for like the last 2 weeks. Kay and Love's guns are in production, guys. We sent out a test shot video on our social maybe a month ago or so of Kay's blaster. So just know that when we were able to share that, stuff has continued to work in the background. So we just we haven't gotten another thing approved that we really wanted to show so far in that production run. But those are rocking and rolling. So I just, to all of you guys who are patiently, Kay's gun, Love's gun, that we're still working on them, we promise.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, what we really try not to do is just we don't want to do that. And this stems from other companies. We don't take anybody's money up front. We don't do the, hey, we're going to make this thing, pay in full, and then we string it along for a year and a half or whatever. To the contrary, one of the reasons we don't like doing that is because I'll speak for myself. We don't want to be the company that it's coming along. Hey, just letting you know it's coming along. Those just mindless proof of life updates, because you've taken somebody's money. So you have to let them know that, hey, this thing is moving forward. I'd much rather do it like you just did, Amy, as a courtesy, where we just say, hey, here's where we are. And, no news is good news. So that's the thing. We don't want to do that every week where it's, hey, we're working on this thing, it's coming along. And then we start to just parrot that, week after week. When there's something noteworthy to add, we will. And I think that serves, we'll put that in the title, Blade Runner updates, Casual Friday. And people, can rest easy that, those things are moving forward. But everybody should know, though, these are long licenses. We've talked about that before. We're on our second renewal on that. So, we were busy with Blade Runner out 2049 out of the gate, in as much that we did the water blasters. You've got the hero blaster. You've got the model kit. We did some tech mats for fun. There a lot happened there. And these other pieces are going to spend, they'll spend as much time as production as it takes to get them right, because we want to get a good bit of metal into Kay and Love's gun. And, then it should complement the other pieces, right? So if we've got to spend a minute on it, so be it. And that's what's happening there. And we're also working on, we're really working hard on the studio scale spinner as well. So, and we'll have some more that's a good example of when there's a whole lot of stuff going on with that. And when we finally do share, I think everybody will be happy about that one. Right, Jared?
Yeah, the spinner is going to be pretty amazing. We have a team kind of working on it, and not going to mention any names right now, but one of the guys working on it has just an amazing treasure trove of reference of the original models and full size piece, and our 3D modeler is working directly with him, and you're just going to see all kinds of cool details and features of this model that have previously not been seen before. So it's going to be pretty awesome. Yeah,
we're really looking forward to it. So with the amount of time we have on these licenses, these are a little bit more lengthy than some of our others. And as we've talked about before, you could have a license anywhere from 1.5 years, 3 years or more. Usually they round off around 2 years, but having renewed this one, we got a little time, no reason to rush anything. We don't, live or die by, any schedule on Blade Runner stuff. So it's nice to have the luxury to give it as much time and as attention as we need to make sure everybody's, happy with it when it finally shows up. So yeah, thank you, Amy, for pointing that out. What else you got? QC questions.
I know.
Customer service questions. Any, hey, how do you guys do XYZ? I mean, I know you get that stuff all the time.
I do. I'm just trying to think of good ones at the moment. We do have a lot of really just positive feedback lately. So thank you guys. Anybody who has like done reviews in the last several weeks and shared our posts in the last several weeks, we really appreciate that because we're still fairly small and we can see an impact when you guys say like, hey, thanks guys. It means a lot to us. So thank you.
You know what I need to do? I was telling Tom about this yesterday. You guys know I've been complaining over the last couple of days about kind of straightening the pallets in the warehouse. I need to show, maybe I'll do it here, maybe I can. I kind of just want to show what our inventory is right now because it's really light, which is a great thing. If you take into consideration the size of HQ here and where we were on everything, and then you just look at our main corner of the warehouse that has inventory in it right now, it's not a lot of stuff. So again, that just gave me an excuse to say thank you to everybody who's been picking up our stuff. I mean, we're really plowing through our runs, our inventory. It's a wonderful thing.
That's a good lead in though for something. We've talked about it before, but what would be very cool for everyone is to see a walkthrough of the HQ. I mean, not now. We probably need to
get up, do that now.
Yeah, well, there's some things that we can't show, obviously, so it's got to be sanitized to a degree. But I think that'd be awesome just to see a walkthrough. Like, here's where we do this. Here's the warehouse in the back.
Let's do that. We will definitely do that. And I may just while we're talking here, just do a quick walkthrough that Sean can edit in of this primary row of merch that I'm talking about. I mean, it's all of our remaining stuff, and it's just not a lot of stuff. And that's a wonderful thing. I mean, I'd love for the warehouse to just be practically empty in between runs. It means, we're not trying to warehouse this stuff. We're not trying to, keep these evergreens going forever. Let's just, get in and out of these runs. And 30, how long have we been doing this, Amy? How old are we now? A little over 36 months.
I was going to say, we've been taking orders for a little over 36 months. You guys did a couple of years worth of production and getting the business started before that. Yeah. We didn't take our first order until March of 2022.
Yeah. So there you go. It's really doing well now. So thanks to everybody. And to your point, it's just like we talked about in the last video, getting everybody's feedback from Dallas. Whenever we do shows, best part of doing shows is able to talk to people and, hear what they like, what they don't like, what they'd like more of or less of. Mainly these videos. Do less of those. People like the videos. That's actually been a good thing. I was surprised how many people, I was telling Tom that would come by the table. They'd kind of buzz the table, just had lunch, watched your video, and then Amy's great. Amy gets a lot of love, fanfare. It's great.
I felt so bad for us too, because Friday of Dallas, we were supposed to have the video posted, during the day on Friday, like we normally do. And of course, we're still setting up, and I hadn't really thought about it before I was like dead center in the middle of the convention center. And here's Rylan and I trying to get the video to post on Instagram in the middle of this giant concrete building. Like, okay, that's going to have posted when we get home, because that's just not going to happen in here. So that was a lot of Saturday of like, hey, had lunch and watched the video since you guys were late yesterday. Obviously, we can see why. Like, thanks.
Yeah. But I'm sitting here thinking about that, how I might shoot that video real fast. If there's anything back there that shouldn't be. It's just like I said, when you look at it and you think about, if you look at our webpage and all the stuff we have and have offered, you would think it would take up so much more room. And that's because they're, especially those early items we did in such small numbers. So many of those first items we did are 500 pieces, 300 pieces. Those dry runs, if you will, where we were just trying out new factories and stuff. And even as we got into one of the largest runs we had done were probably the ruby slippers at 1,500 pieces, and it's we kept them all pretty modest. Lost Boy bottles at 750. I mean, so yeah, we should have kicked a big dent in everything by now, and we have, and that's nice. So again, thank you, and we're looking forward to 40 plus pallets of all this other stuff that's coming in. Ergo my mission to streamline the warehouse and some storage space. Yeah, exactly. That's all right. You'll be here in in a couple of weeks going through some stuff.
Absolutely.
I got big plans. That'd be fun. That'd be fun to do a video. And I should just bring Jared in too that week.
Yeah.
Everybody comes into.
I've never. I mean, the new warehouse. I've never seen.
That's so weird. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you'd like it. Yeah.
When I was there, it was
storage units
a lot. It hadn't been.
Oh yeah, the slab hadn't even been poured. Probably.
Yeah. So when we started Paragon, we had like a half a dozen enviro controlled storage units that we were trying to keep stuff in, and oh man, the shipping was a nightmare.
Those sweet people though that own the storage unit place, they were so kind to us. Like thank you guys so much. I don't know how you stayed sane doing that between all the different units, but that was just.
Well, there was a delay on the building. I mean, the idea is the building would have been done. The idea was rather the building would have been done in time for the first shipments, and as any construction goes, it's always late. So running in and out of those storage units, and then practically running the company on the kitchen table. I mean, a lot's changed. So now there's this place, which is it's awesome. It's like big frat house. We love it. Got the junk in the back and cool things in the front. It's all good. Jared, you got anything you want to cover? I mean,
man, just thinking about what's coming in for the rest of the year. I was looking over scheduling and everything I've got on our little Airtable program, and we have, God, what did I say? We have in things that we have actively we're working on. That number is like 46 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And the majority of this is stuff that we haven't discussed yet. It's either in early concept or it's in some stage of prototyping. But by the end of the year, I have like 14 pieces scheduled by the end of the year. That might pare down a little bit as we kind of digest things with a little more reality.
Well,
I would say at least 10 of those things will happen by the end of the year.
Oh yeah. And that goes back to what we were talking about. If we were on the old business model, which I never tire of slagging on, where it's almost like that weird built-in Ponzi scheme that companies would do, right? Where they have to sell this one to start the next one. And so on. So they're always in this perpetual state of, hey, look what's coming out. Here's what we're making. Join the interest list or reserve yours now so they could float that money. We're kind of blessed in as much that we don't have to do that. As we've always said, by the time you guys hear about the product, it's already engineered. It's already on its way. It's going to happen. And then ultimately we will open up the soft reserves when we've got a kind of a X date, when we know it's going to be liberated from the factory. But so many of these things that like you're talking about, Jared, are just we've just been turning and burning on production so much. We're actually ahead of the studio approval to talk about them. But that's a good thing, because when we do start spilling all this, it's going to be a really busy into 2025. Well, it'll just be, and this is coming, and this is coming, and those are nice surprises when it's like, wow, it's like waiting on your favorite TV show to come back. It's great when you don't have to wait a year and a half, for it to materialize. So, yeah, lots of Disney product coming. Lots of people are really happy with some of the things we're doing there, and of course, tons of Toho stuff, and we're still talking with other people about possibly doing, some other studios about some other opportunities too. So we'll see how all that goes.
That's worth mentioning is that licensing show. We've touched on that a little bit, but we're still seeing new developments from licensing show that happened almost a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
So not everything happens at licensing show. A lot of it's the follow-up that happens in the weeks and months following. And we're still seeing some follow-up to that. So we'll see.
Yep. Some pleasant surprises, and absolutely. So I'd always said, I'm content just to focus on, Disney and Toho and that those alone can keep us crazy busy. But we've still got our thing going with Universal, and I think about doing a few more things there. And then to your point, Jared, some other studios that we've spoken with recently. It's that I'm glad we went to Vegas. That's nice. So in addition to getting to say hi to some friends, it does look like some new opportunities are going to present themselves. So that's awesome too. That's really all I got, guys. I know Thomas wore me out. So everybody knows the idea was Sean's going to be gone next week. So we were like, let's just shoot 2 videos. So again, we tried to have Tom on one, and it went on for 45 minutes, and he sucked my will to live out of me. I just haven't recovered from that.
I think we all got a little distracted, and we all kind of sidebarred in discussions. And by the time we realized it, we came back. We're like, wait, we're actually doing a video. We got to.
Yeah. It completely shiny things. I mean, we go.
Yep.
We go from this to that to, it's my favorite episode of Star Wars. It's just, everything. We start talking about Star Wars. That's great.
Here's the order in which you got to watch it. Okay.
Absolutely. And then everybody agreed that Rogue One is the best thing outside of the Holy Trilogy.
I agree.
Well, you like what's the one that the series you're watching now, Jared? What is it?
Oh, Andor.
Oh yeah, you like Andor.
Yeah, because Andor and Rogue One are tied together so well. And I was saying, if you're going to watch Rogue One, watch Andor first, and then as soon as you hit that series finale on Andor, turn on Rogue One, because it rolls right into that, and it's pretty amazing the way they maintained that consistency. Because Rogue One that was 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well,
that's weird, right?
Can we talk for 2 seconds about how wonderful that script supervisor must have been on Rogue One for them to be able to go back 10 years and tie everything into like the way his hair was,
they even did a cool thing where it shows, he puts on his jacket and he puts on his belt and his gun, and that was done to be like, all right, this is the part where you're going to see Rogue One pick up, and he's wearing all this. It is pretty clever. The continuity was well done, and bravo.
Whoever that script supervisor is, good job, bro, or lady.
Great show.
Yeah, that's great. But so our whole conversation did go to that, and then of course we had a minute of Sean running his mouse droid around in his office, and there it is.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Come on, chime in. If you're listening. Oh, he's not. You can see it peeking out. It's like almost like the trolley on Mr. Rogers. It's just going out from behind you.
Amazing.
You got to get Sean's attention, just going.
Yeah. That's
all we did in the office. Once he brought the mouse droid in, it was. I felt like a kid, like Rhonda was going to take it from us and put it on top of the fridge so we couldn't play with it. All we did was mess with it. And it looks so huge when you hold it up like that. It doesn't feel like big in person.
It's big as your torso.
It's such a cool piece. I hate that they're sold out. I want one badly.
Me too.
I just want to. I picture a cat inside there. Like if you cut a hole, like his egg could be sticking out.
Yes.
It's like
a cat coming out of it. Oh wow.
Right, Theo?
Put Theo in it. Theo would dig it.
Theo would be into it.
All right, now that we've gone,
I'm gonna get one and paint it red and put a white stripe on it. I'm gonna make it Starsky and Hutch it.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Yes.
Or mystery van, like you said, Sean. That'd be awesome.
The A-team. The A-team van.
Two BA's van. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Mystery van would be good too.
There's a lot that can happen there.
Yep. So I want one. I'm waiting. Cocked and loaded. Ready. Are they back in stock, Sean? Or
no. It's going to be, I would say, a couple of months at least.
Boo.
Yeah.
They're so popular right now. They're selling out like crazy. So,
Sean, do you have any questions for us, since there's a complete lack of energy and we're all just defeated after our conversation with Tom? And since we, like you and I talked about, we probably will just show the front and the back of that thing, because nothing else in that whole video is usable. But what Tom does is he gets out there and he starts flexing, right? And I mean, and now you see why. I mean, Sean could attest to it better than anybody. We have, they're brutal conversations, right? You catch them on speaker.
oh, yeah.
I mean, I love Tom. He's my brother, but we have brutal throwdowns. I mean, just brutal. And then it's just like I always say, it's just like in Talladega Nights. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, man, see you tomorrow. You know, it's just like that. But yeah, he has no idea what happens at his own company, and therefore we can't use anything that he said in the video. So
Yeah,
there's that.
that.
Anyway, you got anything, Sean, at all? You want to?
No,
you have questions for Jared? Do you
really don't. I've been so focused on this video editing.
It could be like old. Remember Tiger Beat and like 16 magazine? What makes Jared tick? A few of Jared's favorite things. What could we?
Was it cosmetology?
No, that's a Cosmos. No, Cosmos a different thing.
Is that a girl? That's a girl.
No, remember, but you don't remember. So, am I showing my age? There was Teen Beat, Tiger Beat, 16 magazine. You know, they have like kids on the cover. What makes Gene tick?
When I would go to get Fangoria or Starlog or Cinefantastique.
Well, that's cooler than that. That's cooler than Teen Beat or 16.
No, but I remember those other ones because they were all kind of grouped in that same like special interest section. You know, Playboys in the Penthouse and the Hustlers over here.
Nice.
And then the Cinefantastique.
Unless you're in Canada, they'll park Playboy and Penthouse right there next to the Snickers in Canada. It's like right there at eye level. I was shocked by that last time I was in Canada.
Oh man.
They'll park it right there. It's not behind the counter. But
wow.
Yeah, I feel like I have to elaborate on 16 and Teen Beat and Tiger Magazine and all that back in the day, guys.
This is when people read magazines before the internet.
Yes, but you had to. You wanted to know what your favorite band was up to. You want to know what Kiss was doing. You had to get 16 magazine, find out what Ace's favorite things were, and that was the thing. And other than that, the only other stuff you had was I almost bought a whole collection the other day. It was on eBay. Do you guys remember Dynamite magazine, Junior Scholastic, back in the day? No, Sean will, because he's old like me. But
yeah.
I kind of remember that, I think.
So it used to be a thing. You could get a subscription to like Dynamite magazine. And here's one. Sean will throw up some pictures here when he edits this thing. But, you know, it would be like whatever was hot at the time. Like Fonzie might be on the cover, or, you know, John Travolta, you know, Saturday Night Fever, or, you know, Star Wars, of course, Mork and Mindy. Remember Mork and Mindy? You know, everything anything that was hip was on the cover of Dynamite. It was just a cool magazine. All right, I'll stop. I'm embarrassing myself, but it was good stuff. But I almost bought it because they look cool on the coffee table over
before
here.
The internet, though, that's where you got your news on what movies are coming out. What's your favorite band up to?
Yeah, when you get the new
magazine,
album, that happen?
Entertainment Weekly.
And you know, it was actually a better time because the content was so carefully scripted, right? That that you didn't have you weren't aware of what terrible human beings you were idolizing. You know, like your favorite band or your favorite celebrity. You know, you would just have what was curated for you. This well scripted line of who these people are supposed to be, and now, of course, you know, your favorite celebrities, you know, just there's an undercover picture of them wrecked in rehab, you know, on your phone when you wake up in the morning. You know, it's that. But back in the day, you could live in denial and assume everyone you adored were good people. Not that the guys at Kiss aren't good people, since I held them out there, but I would say a couple. Well, I digress.
So happy Friday, everybody. And remember to like and subscribe if you actually do like these videos, and help us out by actually clicking that button, because we're heathens and we have to ask.
Some are better than others, the videos.
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
Case in point on this one. You know what? But that's the thing though. So many people, I was talking about this yesterday. So many people come to these videos by our Instagram link. And if you like these at all, and this is a good litmus test to find out if anybody's actually going to, subscribe. If you like these at all, go to YouTube, because that's where they're all cataloged. That's where you can find all of them. And some of the early ones are really, really bad, like worse than this one. But if you do enjoy these and you like the content, just go to YouTube and I can't say it. Say it, Amy. I can't bring myself to say it.
Actually press the subscribe button.
I can't bring myself to say it, but smash that like button. No, I can't do it. But if you do that thing and you follow the YouTube channel, you can see all this stuff and you'll be notified when a video pops up. And then otherwise, you never know what we're up to on Insta or the other socials, because sometimes we post them there and sometimes we don't. So that's it. And then if you want an update on what we regularly do, you can go to our website and sign up for our newsletter, where we're regularly updating there, usually before we update on socials. So see, I made the effort, Amy. I did it. I tried.
Yeah.
So there's that. All right, I'm out. We'll see you guys.
Yeah. Y'all have a great weekend.